Hi, my name is Sebastien Lagree. I'm the creator and founder of Lagree Fitness and the Mega on my right and the Micro on my left. Today I want to talk about the difference and the similarity between the Micro and then the Mega. So I'm going to jump into it. So obviously you can see the size. The size is the big difference, all right? The Micro on my left is about 71 inches from platform to the end. If you include the rear platform, it goes to 81 inches. So 71 inches without the rear platform, 81 inches with the rear platform. The Megaformer on my right, 125 inches if you go from the stabilizing bar on the front to the back. But the usable length on the Megaformer is not 125, it's 118, okay? So if you compare the Micro number 1 without the rear platform to the M2, we're looking about a 50 inches difference. So it's a big difference. 50 inches is a big difference. And mainly, the length that we lose in the Micro is due to the loss of the length in the carriage, okay? And I'm going to talk about this for a second. The overall length is different, so it's about 50 inches shorter, the Micro, and also the weight, okay? The weight on the Micro is 50 pounds. 50 pounds if you have just the platform and the carriage, about 80 pounds as it is fully assembled over here. So right now you have the 2 handles on the front, 2 handles on the back, the rear platform. This is about 80 pounds, 81 inches, so about 40 inches shorter now than the M2. M2, 118 inches, it's about 270, 300 pounds, so big difference. So it means the following. It means that the M2 is a machine that goes into a dedicated space. You have a gym at home, you have 100 square feet, you can fit the M2. If you don't have a dedicated space at home, then it's the end of the video for you. Don't even consider the M2. Don't even waste your time asking questions about the M2 or the M3 or the other machines. You don't have the room. So if you don't have the room, you have to use the Micro. Why? The Micro only uses 50 square feet of space, number 1. Number 2, it comes apart, okay? These handles comes apart. You have a pull pin mechanism. You pull it, you remove the handle, and then when the machine is flat, you can easily store it under your bed, under your couch. You can actually hang it up against the wall. We have a storage bracket. You can put it on the wall. Literally, you can store this machine, no problem. The Megaformer, the M2, not that disposable, guys. You cannot move this machine around after you use it. You cannot store it. It's the way it is. So that is going to be really the single largest decision factor, when you decide between the Micro and then the Mega. It's really the size. As far as the exercise, so let me put this back in. As far as the exercise are concerned, you can do all the exercises on the M2 can be done on the Micro. However, and listen to this, you're not going to be able to do all the exercises exactly the same way. A lunge on the Megaformer, you're going to have your foot on the floor, foot on the carriage is higher. Obviously, you don't have that benefit on the Micro. So the floor lunge already is going to be a little different. Elevated lunge, escalator lunge are going to be the same because both are using the platform and the carriage. However, on the Micro, because the Micro is so close to the ground, that was the intent of it, you can use the floor, you can integrate the floor with the use of the Micro. Matter of fact, you can only use the floor, you can use a wall, right? You can use a chair. You can actually use other elements at your home and integrate those elements with the Micro and create the ultimate fitness machine. And that's what I really wanted to do. Something very basic that we could use with accessories that you could grow in modules, okay? So when you buy the Micro, for example, you don't have to get it this way. You can just buy the platform and the carriage. It's $890. You use it, you get to know it, and then you decide if you want to add another rear platform, the handles, cables, and so on. So it's a much easier purchase, in my opinion, than the Megaformer, right? The Megaformer comes this way. You cannot choose, well, I don't want the platform on the back end. I don't want the handles. How much is that going to be? No, it's coming this way. An M2 restored, it's going to be about $7,000, $8,000. That's restored, okay? Remember, we don't make the M2 and the M2S anymore. We've discontinued those machines back in 2015. So we only have them as they come available to us. That's another thing. Shipping on the M2 is going to be about at least $1,000 in the US because we have to crate it and then we have to freight it. Micro, ready to go, boom, shipping, depends where it is, 50 to $100, wherever in the US. Internationally, yes, it's expensive. However, some people actually brought the Micro with them on a plane. And it's actually way cheaper to ship a Micro or as an oversized item on a plane than it is using FedEx. I don't know why. But that's also another thing. Now, the Micro is very portable. It's very compact and very lightweight. All qualities that the Megaformer does not have. But that's okay, because the Megaformer was built 10 years prior to the Micro. So this was with a different frame of mind, than the Micro. So the Micro is portable, it's compact, it's light. You can store it under a bed, attach it on the storage bracket. You can take that machine with you in a car. Okay, so first of all, you can work out anywhere you want in your house, in your bedroom, by the deck, on the porch, in the garage, on the lawn, wherever you want. You take that machine and you can wherever you want. You can also take the machine in the car with you, meet a friend, work out at the park, at the beach, in the forest, at the mountain, on a hike, whatever, because the machine is actually that light and that portable. You can actually take this machine anywhere you want. And that was the big reason for me to make the Micro, is to do something that was really lightweight, portable, transportable. And this was actually built a year before the pandemic. I had no idea what was going to happen in 2020 when I started to sketch this machine. The portability and the lightweight of that, is a very important factor of the Micro, versus the M2. Which machine is best for you? Again, it comes down to where you're going to use the machine. Is this a dedicated space or not? If it's a dedicated space, you can have the choice between the two. If it's not a dedicated space, all right, then you have the Micro. That's the only choice. Who's going to be using it? Are you 5'4"? Is your husband going to use it? My husband is 6'4". Okay, well, you can still do all the exercise, on the Micro if you're length. But if there are certain exercises that you like to do on the carriage, right? If you consider the carriage length, my husband likes to do exercise laying on his back on the carriage. Okay, you cannot at 6'4" lay on your back on the carriage. But at 6'4", I can lay on my back on the floor and use cable with the carriage and basically adapt the same exercise. The only difference is this, and please pay attention to this. Please pay attention to this. If you're doing laying on the back exercise on the carriage versus laying on the back on the floor, it's different, okay? You get core activation on the Megaformer because you have the carriage going back and forth. You do not get core activation on the floor, okay? So the floor is going to basically just isolate certain muscles in that exercise. On the carriage, you're basically working all the muscles integrated because now you have the back and forth movement of the carriage. That's just physics, okay? Just the way it is. So the height is not so much of a restriction, but if there's some exercise that you must do on the carriage and you need a full-length carriage, you're not going to be able to do it on the Micro. That's the only difference as far as the exercises. Well, actually, there's another difference too. The difference is this one, the weight of the carriage. The carriage on the Micro is only 6-7 pounds. The weight of the carriage on the Mega is about 62 pounds, 63, 64, depending on the model that you have. So it's about 10% lighter. So that means that when you do an exercise on the Megaformer, essentially the Megaformer is like having power steering in your car. It's going to help you with the tension. Versus on the Micro, you feel the spring directly. So a lot of people say that balancing exercise like lunges, skating, standing on the thighs are way more challenging on the Micro than they are on the Mega. Personally, I love both, and I don't think there's that much difference when I use the two machines, but I really enjoy the use of the two. To also give you another food for thought, the Micro was built to only do the Lagree's Essential, and we're talking about lunges, plank, wheelbarrow, all the core exercises, and to do more core exercises because like right now I'm standing on the side, I can actually do exercise, I can do lateral exercise using the carriage, which you cannot do on the Megaformer because on the Megaformer you have the height difference. So I cannot do these movements on the Megaformer, but I can on the Micro. So there's a whole universe of exercise you can do on the Micro that cannot be done on the Megaformer, and that's because of the physics of the machines. Low, lightweight, portable, long, heavy, and that's this different kind of machine. Which one is best for you? Again, it depends on where you're going to put it, how you're going to use it, who is going to be using it, and really what your favorite exercise are. That's what it is. If you like to do wheelbarrow, lunge like me, then literally any machine you buy from Lagree, you will always be able to do those movements because these are the Lagree's Essential. Any plank movement, any lunge movements, skating, all that stuff. Now, if you start to get into, certain exercise, like for example, if you're on the M2, you love to do the side crunch where you sit on the carriage and you put your feet underneath the X strap, and you do this exercise. Cannot do it on the Micro because the Micro is on the monorail and it's low to the ground. So you're not going to have the space to do this exercise, right? But there's a few exercises like this, and that's going to be with all the machines I make. Some machines will be very good at this one exercise and this family of exercise, and some of the machines will not be able to do those ones, but do something else, right? And that's always the trade-off that you have because the machines are slightly different. So today, here's the difference, the micro and the mega. Also for shipping, mega needs to be freighted, so we need to crate it, which is $500. And it's like we're literally building like a house for you, and we're building this house out of wood. We put the machine in there, and then we send it freight. So more expensive, longer process, micro, FedEx, tomorrow, done at your house. So micro is readily available, it's less expensive, you can build it up as you go over time. You don't have to buy the fully loaded right away. So it's more practical. You know, that's kind of basically the advantage of the micro over the M2. Way more practical to buy, to use, to store, and so on. You can open a studio using both machines. What would be the difference? Well, the M2 requires 100 square feet. The micro requires about 50 square feet. So in 1,000 square feet, you could fit 10 M2s or 20 micros. It's up to you. We have many studios who have the micros, but they also have other modalities of training, like they have TRX stations, they will have plyometric boxes and dumbbells, and they have treadmills. Perfect. The micro is perfect for that situation because you don't want a dedicated space. You store your micro on the wall when you use the micro for a core, whatever, or in between your routine. Boom, the micro is on the floor. You use it. When you're done, you put it back. You go back on your treadmill. Blah blah blah. Okay. A lot of studios now, cross training and cross functioning, kind of CrossFit types of gyms, are opening and now having the micro as part of their arsenals. Perfect. If you want a dedicated space, only have the micro. You can also do that. Like I said, you'll be able to put 2 micro per mega. In your business plan, that's significant. 10 people versus 20 people, you'll make more money with 20 people. Price, mega versus micro, it's going to be the same, okay? If you're charging $22 for a class on the mega former, you're not going to charge $12 for the micro. It's ridiculous, okay? It's the same workout. It's a different machine. You're doing something different things. So you can charge just as much on the micro as you do on the mega. But again, big difference is you can put way more micros in a single room than you can put on the M2. That is something that you must consider, okay? A very important point. But the micro is not a mega. I built the mega the mega started to come out, I think in 2011. Around then, so it's been around 11 years. We've had so much press, domestically, internationally. We have so many high-end people using the machine, praising that machine, celebrities, royalty, politicians, VIP, CEO, Forbes, billionaires or whatever, getting all the Megaformer. The Megaformer has built quite a name for itself over the last 11 years. Some people want the Megaformer at home because they want the Megaformer. They don't want another machine. They don't want a reformer. They certainly don't want a copycat. They want the name Megaformer. That's what they want. They want the Chanel purse. They want the Ferrari, in the garage. They want that specific product. If that's you, then the Megaformer is for you. Then forget about the micro. The micro is building a lot of, attention lately because it's, a machine that is more accessible for everyone. It's still expensive. $890 is very expensive for most of America. When you can go to Target, you can buy a full fitness assemble, whatever, the tower, all that stuff, cable, for I think $500, and then cheaper than that. But I guarantee you that though, is that machine at Target, which is half the price of this, does not do the exercise that this one does. This you can do with 1,000 different exercises, and I'm not done with this machine too, right? The micro, as you probably have heard about it, we have a rowing machine that's coming out at the end of the year. So you'll be able to transform this into a rowing machine and still keep the microformer ability. So you'll be able to do your micro and rowing at the same time. You're welcome. We have a ramp coming for this. We're gonna have a door mount for the micro. So right now we have a storage bracket and you can just hang your micro there, but we're now gonna have a door mount. The door mount, I didn't wanna do another storage bracket type of thing because I didn't want people to get confused. So the door mount for the micro, you'll be able to put your micro against the door basically, and then you can use the cables and do your basically cable exercise, like triceps, biceps, you're able to lat pull down, all that stuff. Very cool. We have other accessories that are going to attach on the back to do other types of movement. Accessories that you'll be able to just clip in, clip out, whatever. Very easy to use because I'm seeing how people are using the micro differently. We have a rail extension coming out. The micro is going to have so many accessories and there's so many more coming out that in the next few years, you're going to realize you can really do anything and everything. This is a machine that is going to keep on transforming itself as we basically evolve it, okay? The Megaformer is not going to have the same treatment, well, especially not the M2, because the M2 is discontinued now. These are factors that you want to consider when you make the purchase. We have done also videos comparing the Micro against the Mini and the Mini Pro. If you want to watch those videos, you can go to our YouTube account, Lagree Fitness, and then you type in, Micro versus Mini, Mini versus Mini Pro. If you cannot watch this video, you can send us a direct message, you can comment, you can send us an email, info@lagreefitness.com, where we'll send you these comparison videos. They're going to be on the website as well, on www.lagreefitness.com. There's going to be a whole section with all these comparison videos. And then hopefully all these videos are going to help you to decide, which machine is going to be best for you. All right, I think I'm done talking about these two wonderful machines. My name is Sebastien Lagree, and if you have any questions again, just email us at info@lagreefitness.com, and then let us know what else we can answer for you. All right, thank you guys.